Lads, we just got another amazing episode of Kingdom Season 6. This week, Rishi can't stop oral farming, Shouheikun cooked up an insane plan, and the young trio are getting hyped up like crazy. Let's talk about the cliffhanger. Shin, Mouten and Ouhon are now being relied on, but that still leaves us wondering who is the supreme commander of this Western Zhao invasion. Say what you want about Yotanwa, but if you have good taste, that's the ideal pick. Where is the opening song? I'm waiting for a banger, but at least the ending song is pretty good. Man, let's just get straight into the episode. This episode opens with visiting the locked away Keeper of Legalism. If Shin could be said to be a beast when it comes to martial might, and Ouhon when it comes to strategic ability, then Rishi could be said to be a beast when it comes to law. This supposed simple legalist drops some mad wisdom when Shoubunkun asked Rishi if he thought he would live to see these countless laws he's written come into fruition. Rishi said that does not matter. Whether he lives or dies, the law lives on. The nature of law is that it continues to live on forever while maturing. To think that Saitaki was so smart and sly as to let Shoubunkun instead of Shouheikun stay during Sei's debate with the Chi King. It was all for this moment, so that all suspicion would be alleviated when bringing Rishi and his much needed capabilities back into the fold. It feels so surreal listening to Shoubunkun and Rishi talk about a world ruled by law as some kind of great undertaking. I'm sure during ancient times it was, but still it's cool to see something that's normal to us being broken down in Kingdom. According to Rishi, the shape of these post-unification laws touch on the very essence of legalism. To base laws on the amount of people is the wrong mentality. Rather, laws should be based on culture. In these warring states, varying culture exists through different systems of writing and measurement, currencies, and ideologies. This leads to one glaring issue. States like Wei, Zhao, and Han place Confucianism before the law, a very different culture. In the manga, Rishi says Confucianism versus legalism would be a whole separate war in itself. Even if that were dealt with, there is the biggest issue of unifying not only the people, but all cultures into a single identity. Keyword being identity. This all leads to Rishi asking Shoubunkun what exactly is law? To use punishment? To control the people and govern them? No, punishment is simply a tool. The law is a wish. Or in other words, it is the ideal behavior that a nation is seeking from its citizens in the form of words. To that end, a post-unification world requires considering how we want the people of this unified nation to act, or rather, how we wish for the people to act. Like Rishi said, the law is a wish. Again, man, politics might not be as focused upon as the warfare aspect in Kingdom, but when it is explored, it's pretty damn awesome. Shoubunkun says it best, Rishi, the Keeper of Legalism, is essential for a post-unification world. This was probably the best scene in the episode in my opinion. It was just so epic, and the shocking nature of Shouheikun's plan leaves you with this feeling of uncontrollable anticipation, wondering how on earth will Shin pull this off? You're telling me we spent an entire season conquering the Kokyo Hills just for us not to be able to use this linchpin because Roboku was too fast in preparing Zhao's defenses. There are now defensive bases where there used to be nothing. Even if individually these bases aren't that strong, Roboku's plan hinges on constantly building new ones that Shin would still have to destroy before moving forward, dragging out the war to 10 years. Honestly, genius by Roboku, because it stops Shin from using any fair plan, or as the manga describes it, orthodox plan to conquer Zhao. But that's just it. Sei notices, I notice, we all notice. Not being able to use an orthodox plan to conquer Zhao means the dream of unification is dead. Does that mean there's an unfair plan, or as the manga describes it, unorthodox plan? Shouheikun is cooking. In his mind, Roboku could be seen as distracted, seeing as he's made so many preparations to prevent a war in the West. In the manga, Shouheikun goes as far as to predict that Roboku sees these western mountains as the final line of defense. So Shouheikun, the insane bastard, proposes to use the entire western campaign as a feint and head straight for Kantan's throat, the Zhao royal capital's throat. In other words, Gyo, Zhao's second biggest city. Imagine all this preparation that Shin has done, culminating in Kokyo Hills, just to use it all as a feint. It's insane, but that's why it's so spicy, so epic. This man Shouheikun says such a plan will result in conquering Zhao in only 3 years, 7 years less than an orthodox plan. This got me thinking, who are the most unorthodox unorthodox commanders in all of Qin. You guessed it. The young trio Shin, Mouten and Ouhon are quite literally known for being unpredictable. So it's no surprise when Shueikun calls them back to Kanyo to let them know the plan early. Despite Ouhon trying to say that Shouheikun lacks faith in his strategy, Qin's chief of military affairs begs to differ. When it comes to Raboku, we must expect the unexpected. So these three units who excel at on-the-spot judgment are crucial to this strategy. His dramatic ass even goes as far as to say that this entire time, these three specific units have been nurtured from the very beginning as independent reserves for this very moment. It's almost destiny, one might say. I'm telling y'all, it's the young trio's time to shine. Shoubunkun expects more from these 5,000-man commanders than other generals. Kyoku says this isn't something they're hoping for, but rather they expect. Gyo will only end in victory if they perform. If that wasn't epic enough, the king of Qin himself appears. Sei tells this young trio Zhao is only one roadblock of many on our way to unifying all of China. In his eyes, their might is needed for what is yet to come as well. He expects great things from them, so much that he urges these three to take the rank of general, almost telling them to claim what is rightfully theirs. In the manga, Sei tells them that they must make their names roar throughout the land. How epic. Sei said, I need y'all, stay alive no matter what, no screwing up, he won't allow it. So damn cool, man. These are the king of Qin's treasured blades. If there was any foreshadowing, here it is. The three greatest generals in all of Qin who will be most responsible for unifying all of China. This was another 8 out of 10 episode. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's episode in the comment section below. Also, it would mean a lot to me if you guys left a like, share this video with a friend, and subscribe for another video next week.